You're listening to London Today with Andy Oudman. If you'd like to join the conversation, you can email londontoday@cjbk.com or call 519-643-1290.
I'm Sara Shannon, reporting from Pembroke, Ontario. I am 10 years old and go to the Lady of Lourdes School. I am allergic to dairy, milk, soy, and peanuts. And I hope you like my story.
Well, it is quite the story of a girl who went to school and didn't come home because of her allergy. Just before we get back to talking to her mom, I want to ask Elizabeth Goldenberg, our own food allergy expert, about the fear that I would think that so many teachers, Elizabeth, go to school with every day if they have students in their school who are allergic to peanut butter or to other issues, the fear that they won't recognize the symptoms and do what they need to do.
I don't know if that's a really big issue for teachers now that we have Sabrina's Law and we have identification of students, we have rescue medication on hand, these injectors that Sarah was talking about, EpiPens. They do safety training on how to recognize and treat a reaction, and the parents of the allergic kids generally, personally, go in to speak to the teachers and tell them specifically about their children.
Let me go back to Mom, to Sara Shannon. Sarah, first of all, how does it feel when you hear your daughter's voice?
Well, I'm always so happy to hear her voice and to hear that she's out there getting her message out. She is the biggest advocate for food allergies. At such a tender age of 10 years old, she tried to create awareness about anaphylaxis, and even so now, her voice is reaching around globally.
You told us moments ago that the teacher did not act in the way the teacher should have. Do you blame the teacher? Do you blame the school for your daughter's death?
Well, I don't blame them because they were not provided the proper education and knowledge and awareness. They thought they knew they had everything in place, but obviously they didn't. So they followed Dr. McCallum's recommendations to have improvements within the school, and now the school is showing great leadership in handling anaphylaxis within the school system.
How safe are most students who have an allergy, like your daughter did? How safe are the Sabrinas of the world today sitting in a desk or in the cafeteria, especially in our public and Catholic schools?
Well, I think they are safer now because we have Sabrina's Law in Ontario and laws like it throughout Canada. There's a lot more awareness, and teachers want to learn more about it. We have, I don't know if you know Dr. Levinson from McMaster. He has a wonderful tool, the e-learning module, to educate all the teachers about signs and symptoms, preventative measures to be in place, how to use the epinephrine auto-injector. I feel that, I feel that we have everyone has a moral obligation to learn about anaphylaxis and to assist any individual in need in giving the epinephrine auto-injector.
Here's a couple of questions, if I could, Sarah, before we let you go. We did a segment on this. We're having quite a raging debate in our schools right now about substitute peanut butter. But through that discussion, we've learned that we're getting more and more kids who have the peanut butter allergy. We're getting more and more kids who are allergic to a number of things. Are you concerned about where this is all going, and are we going to have not just a peanut-free zone, but a long list of food items that we can't allow our kids to take to school?
Yes, it's interesting. Every school is unique with their food allergies. In Eganville, I know there's that one time they didn't have any peanut allergies, but they had milk allergies. So every school is unique, and it's up to the schools and the school boards to come up with a decision for how to have a good anaphylaxis management plan.
Sara, we are going to continue this discussion on the other side of the news break at the bottom of the hour with Elizabeth Goldenberg. I want to thank you for sharing your story this morning, and especially Elizabeth's been telling me how this really now has consumed your life, and you're spending a good part of your time teaching and learning, and then teaching again. What opportunity do the people have out there if they want to check a website, for example?
Well, if you, with Sabrina's Law, there's a lot out there. If you Google it, you'll see so much. With Allergic Living, with Gwen Smith, she has wonderful articles on Sabrina's Law. Anaphylaxis Canada also was a big part of the development of Sabrina's Law, and NASC from Niagara Falls. They were very helpful in the implementation of the law, too. And many organizations and people have come together, and AAIA and their WAC.
One more question. I have to jump in because of time. Short as your daughter's life was, how old was she when she passed on?
Sabrina was at the tender age of 13. And, she's living on with her law. And you'll find that Sabrina's Law is it's actually becoming very global.
Well, we're going to get into that in the next half hour. Sara, I want to thank you so much.
Thank you so much,
I want to thank
Andy.
you by leaving you with the voice of your daughter.
Thank you, Andy and Elizabeth.
I'm Sara Shannon, reporting from Pembroke, Ontario. I am 10 years old and go to the Lady of Lourdes School. I am allergic to dairy, milk, soy, and peanuts. And I hope you like my story.
Wow. Thank you, Sara. We'll be back with Elizabeth Goldenberg to talk about allergies in our school. Very important topic. We need to talk about it, and especially in this next half hour, we'll keep the phone lines open, 643-1290, if you have a story that you'd like to share, a comment, or a question for Elizabeth Goldenberg, who I promise you will have the answer. When we come back in just a moment, right here on London Today on News Talk 1290, CJBK.